Inspired by Grace Outreaches. As you know, our outreaches have been incorporated into our prayer groups for the most part, and they happen once a month in every prayer group, which is awesome because we have the possibility of having 12 outreaches a month all around this area. The word outreach itself kind of gives you an idea of the definition. Out, getting out beyond myself, beyond my insecurities and fears and my feelings of inadequacy, so I can reach to someone who has not experienced relationship with God like I have. I'm outreaching, I'm getting out of myself, and I'm putting God's kingdom first for the sake of others. I'd like you to take a moment and think back to a personal outreach moment that you have had lately or any time in your life. And I'd like you to remember the fulfillment of knowing that God was flowing through you in that moment. That maybe He was even speaking some things to you to share with the person that you were talking with. Think about the joy that you felt and the presence of God that you undoubtedly felt as you were reaching for that person. We know there is a combination that goes on. We know that God is constantly drawing people. He's ever wooing. But sometimes people have trouble on their own responding to something they don't understand and they've never experienced, they don't know anything about. And so that's where God puts us. Whenever He's wooing people, sometimes He will put them in our path. So they may never just show up in our church, which is why we need to go. We need to get beyond ourselves and be His hands and be His mouthpiece. How else will they know? That's why we are sent. That's why we have the privilege of going. And, reaching out, it takes so many different forms. It can be something so simple like just encountering a stranger. Just, you're passing them in the aisle at Walmart and they happen to look at you and smile and you say hi and they say hi and you go on about your day. Who knows? Maybe you shed some God love on them as you walked past. Maybe it was reconnecting with an old friend that you haven't seen and you were able to say something encouraging to them or, invite them to something so that you can extend that reconnection. Maybe it was an encouraging word to a cashier or a smile of sympathy to a poor struggling mom. Or maybe the people that God purposely puts in your path and that was a God thing that happened. But whatever it is, even what we're talking about today, group outreaches, God wants to use everyone. Whether you're in leadership or you're just a person in your church, God wants to use you. And I probably don't need to remind you that we should go because God asked us to go. We should go because we need that discipline in our life that as humans, we naturally become inward focused on everything that's happened in our lives, what we feel, what we're struggling with. And we can even become stagnant because we're taking it in from God if we have that personal prayer time, but it's not going anywhere. So it's just becoming stagnant, and we need to give that out. But I would like to encourage you to think of outreach as your privilege. I have the privilege of representing my King. And I'm getting to take Him, His message, His love, His promise to them. I'm getting to deliver that gift to them. I'm chosen. You are chosen. And I don't want to just disregard that. I want it to become my lifestyle, and I hope you do too. We are outreachers. We are called to be outreachers, always giving out. And that is our privilege. I'd like to challenge you also, let God give you the desire to want to reach out, to care about people enough that you're not so caught up in your own world everywhere you go that you don't notice them. I know it's easy to do. I have been guilty of it myself. I've got a list of things I need to do, and I'm focused on that. And there could have been somebody that I could have shared some God with that I missed. So I need to remember that, and I need to let myself be reminded when I go out, God, if there's someone you want me to touch today, even if it's just an encouraging word to that cashier, you're doing a great job. How much does that take from me? Just to say that kind thing. I don't have to know them. I don't know anything about that cashier who's checking me out, but I know she's working hard. I know she may not have the best job. I know she may not enjoy it. She may not want to be there, and she's probably dealing with people who tell her the opposite. So why can't I be the person to say, you're doing a good job? This is called lifestyle outreach. Everywhere I go, I'm looking for someone to reach out to. So let me encourage you that when you're doing your group outreaches, believe that God will give you creative ideas for reaching out in the place you are. And believe that God may lead you to someone to minister to during your outreach. It's not far-fetched. If you think about all the stories that are floating around Acts 2, about the people that you have encountered, the people that have thanked you for coming, the times you've been out on whatever kind of outreach and you found people to talk to, you know God is doing it. You know God is pleased with us reaching out. So don't stop. Just keep letting God use you. But as His representatives, we want to make sure we are representing Him well. So before you go, let me give you some pointers or things to keep in mind. It is a good idea to take time with your group members to discuss the goal of the outreach you're planning. What are we trying to do? Maybe we're trying to help the needy in our area. Maybe we're trying to cause awareness that our group is meeting in the area. Maybe we're just out saying, if you have a prayer request, we'd like to know what it is, and we're going to pray for you, and we're going to contact you and see if God has answered that prayer. So what is the goal? And another good thing to do is to help your group take ownership of an outreach, so they don't feel like this is just an idea you had and you want them to help you accomplish it. It should be a whole group thing that you're doing. And here's some ways you could do it. Your whole group can help in planning. A lot of people have great ideas. Maybe they could be incorporated. They can contribute in donating supplies. They can participate with the preparation. If you're putting something together, everybody in the group could help with that. And then everybody can go and be part of the outreach. We also want to make sure we're making a good impression. If you're talking to people in your community, you want to make sure that you leave them with a good impression. Be genuine. Be yourself. Be kind. Don't be intrusive. Approach with a smile so they know that you're friendly. I'm a friendly coming in. You start the conversation. Hi, my name is Carolyn, and we're just in the neighborhood passing out these little gifts because we want to bless you. And we want you to know that you're invited to come. Maybe you could have a card with you that would be an invitation to something that's coming up. Maybe you're going to do a chili cook-off or whatever. So be approachable, be friendly, be genuine. Don't be pushy. Don't be harsh with them. Just be kind. Be friendly. The other thing you should do before you go is discuss and give examples of how you should say things. I know it sounds a little strange maybe, but if you've never been out on an outreach before, it's like when you first started coming to church, you probably went on an outreach and they sat down and said, now when you go, say this, but don't say this. So let's look real quickly. If I could have someone... Did everybody get those sheets? We're going to pass out some little flyers. And on the bottom of the sheet is a example outreach, a planning sheet. This example is of serving at a soup kitchen. And the goal would be to serve the needy in your community. As you're preparing for this, these are the steps that will help you to get organized, because sometimes you might get away with planning an outreach the night before, but usually not, especially if you're going to do something like this that requires planning ahead. So if you were going to go and serve in a soup kitchen, here's some steps you would want to take. Someone from your group would need to call around and find out, first of all, if there is even a soup kitchen near you in your area that you could go participate in. And then offer to help come and ask them how big of a group they could take, and what would be the times that they actually do the serving. And then arrange a time, find a contact so that you can check back with the person who's in charge of the soup kitchen. Take time to explain to the person that you contact that you are leading a group that meets to pray, and you would all like to come and participate in a serving, and set that up. And then you would go to your group and you would share the information, and then you would let your group help you plan how you're going to carry this out. So that's a very simple explanation of how you could start getting organized in your outreach times. I have several examples that I brought today of things that you might want to use on an outreach. These are tools. I think they're great tools because everybody loves to receive a gift. I don't know of anyone who's ever said, no, I'm not going to take that gift from you. I'm throwing it in the trash right now. Everybody just likes to receive things. So these make it easy they smooth your encounter. They kind of give you a conversation piece. And then you kind of know what you want to say because you're giving them something. For example, we're coming up on Easter, so a very inexpensive, easy little gift to make up requires a Sunday dish, a little bag fill, and a snack bag with some candy in it, tied with a ribbon, and a little label that says happy. So if it was Easter time and I wanted in my neighborhood to go around and say, I hope you have a great Easter, and I wanted to just come by and give you this little gift. I know candy's not the most healthy thing, but everybody likes to eat it. So we just want to bless you with a nice little Easter gift. It can be as simple as that. Some things that will help you, and you'll see that I use them on several of these. One is a snack bag that, I don't know if you can see it from there, but it's rounded on the edges. And so that you can put candy, and then it's got this place here that you can kind of tie it up. It makes a nice presentation. Also, these clear treat bags. I use them on many of the little things that I make up. I'm going to go quickly through some of the things here. You have them on your sheet, and on the sheet there's also a link to a Pinterest pin that you can go and look these up, and it'll show you how to do them. But I wanted to make some up so you can see. This, I use the treat bag, and all you do is put a pair of socks in there, and you've got this cute little printable that says, wishing you warm and cozy toes this winter. So this would be like a seasonal gift, but again, who doesn't want some nice cozy socks? Mother's Day is another occasion. You'll see this on your list as paper bag flowers. This is a real plant. I put it into a paper gift bag with a ribbon and a tag. Happy Mother's Day is all it says. And this is great because mothers always love to receive flowers on Mother's Day, right? Another one is just popping by. All of these things are very inexpensive, very easy to make, so everyone in your group could do this. A bag of popcorn, some ribbon, a tag. That's all it is. Very easy. And, I think they turn out cute. So it's not like a gift that nobody wants. For instance, let me ask you this. This is a little snack bag with some snacks in it, but it's pretty plain. Which would you rather receive? My little bag Or would you like to have it in a nice gift bag with a snack bag tucked down in there, and you've got a nice little tag on there that says a little treat for someone sweet? So what I'm saying is you can dress it up very easily, and it's not expensive to just make it look a little nicer. And that's leaving a good impression with the people that you are giving gifts to. So all of these gifts are on your sheet. Things like the hot chocolate. I bought these jars for $1 at Dollar Tree. You mix up the mix, 4 ingredients, put some marshmallows, put a ribbon on top. Would anybody like to have a hot jar of hot chocolate? It looks cute, doesn't it? And they're not hard to make, and they're not expensive to make. So I'm asking, requesting, I'm fully expecting that every prayer group leader would come and take at least one of these samples that you could take and you could reproduce in your own groups, and you can also look up the links. All right, thank you.